Welcome to another episode of Mugs with the Mayor. I'm Alden Lucas, and I'm here with the man himself, Kay Netton.
Excited to be back for another episode of Mugs with the Mayor. Just a simple reminder, we started this podcast just so we could get more information out to the people, and that's what we're trying to do. So, really excited to be back with another episode, and I already have some topics lined up for our next few episodes, and going to get some more special guests in. So, really excited. If you haven't listened to our podcast before, it's available on our YouTube, all of our social media pages. Just they'll point you in the right direction. But we've talked a lot of different things on this podcast, especially city related. Talked with the Chamber of Commerce, talked street and sanitation. Just make sure that you're following along with us and that you have all the up to date information that you can. So
today we got seems like a once in a lifetime type of topic today. Let's just clear the elephant in the room, the water situation over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation, honestly. First and foremost, I think the biggest thing before we start is to understand how water districts work around here. There are multiple water districts, even within the city limits of Sheridan. All right, so if you don't know the boundaries or the city limits of Sheridan, it's a we joke because it's a horrible map. It's crazy looking. It's not a square or a circle like some people would imagine it. It's actually a bunch of different shapes. Some of it goes up into some timberland. Some goes up in a few neighborhoods, and some neighborhoods are even outside of city limits, even though you would think they would be in. But there are multiple water companies that form around the city of Sheridan. Within the city of Sheridan, with about 2,500 customers, is Sheridan Waterworks. Their main office is off of High Street. Their superintendent is David Fitzgerald. That is the city of Sheridan's water system, Sheridan Waterworks, its own private entity. Then, of course, you have South Sheridan Water Association. So South Sheridan Water goes all the way to where I grew up in the Shiloh community, which is off of Grant 13. But it also goes into some city neighborhoods. You have Brownwood. You have all of Marywood. You have Westbrook, Jacobs Creek. Those neighborhoods fall within South Sheridan Water, even if they're not south of Sheridan. Some are west of Sheridan, but you fall into that South Sheridan map. Then, of course, you have another water company within our area, and that's Little Creek Water Association. And Little Creek is even part of Sheridan as well, and that's our Winston development neighborhood off of Little Creek Cutoff. So you have so many different water companies, and I know it can be confusing, especially if you're a South Sheridan Water customer. A lot of people call our office and want to talk to us, call City Hall and want to talk to us about Sheridan Waterworks or something that's going on, or when we can talk to them about Sheridan Waterworks, but we do not oversee South Sheridan Water. They're a neighboring rural water company. So that's the same with Little Creek Water Company. So let's all start from the beginning. Just so I wanted to give you that before we started. But it was May the 18th. That's a Sunday. I had gone to church. I'd gotten some lunch. And I was actually going to enjoy a nice little Sunday afternoon. Maybe even take a nap. But I got a call from David Fitzgerald. And I always know David is not one to call on the weekends. But if he calls on the weekends, something is going on. So David has called me. I'm in church, so I call him back after church, and he notifies me that early that morning, South Sheridan Water, which again, that neighboring water company, their treatment plant had caught on fire and was pretty much completely destroyed. All we knew is that they were not pumping water to their citizens and to their customers. While we have 2,500 customers, and that's household, that's meters, 2,500 meters, so we definitely more citizens than that. South Sheridan and Little Creek Water Association together had about 3,500 customers. That's just meters, so could have been well over double that, because, I mean, you think about it, how many family members you have in your home. You're just counted as one customer. There's multiple people in your houses. So we knew there were about to be thousands without water. So it had us all thinking, what can we do? How can we get water? And, David Fitzgerald, the Sheridan Waterworks superintendent, knew that 20 years ago, we had provided, and I say we, Sheridan Waterworks used to provide water to South Sheridan Water and Little Creek Water. Just really something, just to give you some more information, Sheridan Waterworks treatment plant is able to produce 4 million gallons of water a day, which is a lot. It's a lot of water. So we're able to produce 4 million, pump up and receive 4 million gallons of water a day. Our 2,500 customers or meters in an average day uses probably 400,000 gallons of water. So we have 3.6 million gallons of water that we're able to pump up should we need it. That we have that excessive quantity of water. And so thankfully, because of that, we knew that there was a connection somewhere here along 167, a main line that could feed South Sheridan some water. Now, that's when all of the minds started coming together. And let me tell you, I will 100% sit here and tell you the individuals that worked their tails off that Sunday evening into early Monday morning. It was something that had to happen for these thousands of people to get water. So it was around 2 p.m. Sunday, the 18th. We had gone to the furthest southern water main line. It was roughly right there in front of Aaron's or Alcoa Federal Credit Union, there along 167B or South Rock Street. We had got down there. We'd gathered down there. There was South Sheridan Water crews, which, by the way, their superintendent, James Herod, man, he worked his tail off, and he moved mountains, literally. James moved mountains, and I am thankful for his leadership at South Sheridan. I know that their board members and the president of their board, Rusty Hawkins, appreciates the fire out of James and all the hard work that him and his crews are able to accomplish. But so there was James with South Sheridan, a few of his guys. There was David Fitzgerald with Sheridan Waterworks, a few of our guys. There was Sheridan Excavating, which made this possible. Sheridan Excavating and their equipment. They're always a phone call away, and I appreciate them a lot. You had Badger Daylighting, who was able to help us excavate and look for this 10-inch main. You had Max Hicks with McClellan Engineerings that was there providing service the whole time. You had Scott Hines with Corn Main who was there until we made connection that night. I was there, and honestly, I not much American do in a situation like this, but I felt that if my guys were out there working, that I needed to be with them. So I was there lending a hand wherever I could. I know I didn't do much. I ran and got some waters, but I wanted to be there for my guys. And anyway, it was a team effort. It really was. And the plan then was to find that 10-inch main along 167. And we knew where the end of Sheridan Waterworks 10-inch main was. Ended up being about 10 feet, 15 feet until we found South Sheridan's. And boy, did it take some excavating. And I appreciate Jerry and Austin Davis, Sheridan Excavating, for excavating all that, and even Badger Daylighting, who was doing all that. Even Arkansas Rural Water was on site the whole time with us, helping us out. And so, when I say team effort, it really was. There's no one organization or one group. It's not even Sheridan Waterworks that is the heroes of this. It's guys coming together because there was a crisis and we all came together to be able to solve it, and I'm thankful for that. You know, we worked with the governor's office the entire time, established the National Guard that set up at Tractor Supply, and they wanted an update. And I say the governor's office wanted an update almost every 2 hours. Senator Matt Stone was involved. I kept him updated. Representative Julie Mayberry, she came down. I think she brought supper to everyone, and it was just it was definitely a team effort to get this solved. And you know, I think it's great because, man, we all came together. I mean, even if there weren't people there at that dig site along 167, there was an entire team from CNL that was working on that treatment plant. There were electricians from Triple H Electric. David Mooring with Mooring Electric was out there. That they got their plant back on within 3 days, which Arkansas Rural Water told us it was going to be 3 weeks at a minimum. But we came together. It was a team effort. It was amazing to see what all these individuals with different connections could do together. And I think that's what, and I'm not paid to say this, but that's what literally makes Sheridan and Grant County, I think, the best place in the world. You had all these different people on a Sunday, a weekend day.
A day of rest.
Yeah, but they came together to solve this crisis. So just wanted to get on here and just talk about that, bring you more information. You know, I know that they're still, you know, working out South Sheridan. We're no longer feeding them water. They are back pumping their own water, which is amazing.
So the day after or the day of, did y'all ever figure out the cause of how the treatment plant caught on fire?
So yeah, so that would have been, and I discussed that with James Herod, the water superintendent for South Sheridan. A lightning strike to a transformer that fed their treatment plant struck a transformer, and of course it backfed into the building and just completely caught it on fire. I don't know if anybody has seen pictures of the facility. I know that there were several released on Facebook, but it's crazy what can happen. And you know, we think that this is just a crazy event, but this was a local crisis, because I mean, water is a basic necessity that we have to provide for people, and so it was a dangerous situation for sure. And I'm just glad that we could all come together and solve the issue. You know, one more thing to add: we had our city council meeting Tuesday night, June the 3rd. But I wanted to honor David Fitzgerald, Ray Spear, Kyle Duck, and Cole Bradford, all from Sheridan Waterworks, that worked their tails off that night. And all the individuals that I mentioned earlier that worked that night, that was a prime example of what public service looks like. It showed swift action, unwavering work ethic. I mean, I just think that everyone there deserves our gratitude and accommodation for what they did that day.
Yeah, I thought this was a real important episode to get out there. Just everywhere me and Kane go, it seems like everybody's asking Kane what the situation is with the water. So now we can just deter him to this podcast. Tell him to go to the YouTube, look at this podcast, and this is the full story of the water now that it's all wrapped up. So let's get to the important part of the podcast. Kane, what is your mug today?
I have got my trusty, I don't know if you can hear it, got my Yeti cup on today. It's even got a sticker that says "Live long and prosper."
Yeah, I'm actually hitting my mug right now, but it's soundproof. My mug is better than Kane's, and it's just says John 3:16. Just a little inspirational quote for us. Kane, I thank you for doing this podcast.
Man, I'm excited for upcoming episodes, and looking forward to hopefully you guys catching us on the next episode. So make sure you follow, share with your friend, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.